Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Foundation. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back. Things are going pretty well at the moment, I have to say. We are currently sitting on a whole bunch of gold, a whole bunch of resources, and we are almost on 500 bread. Now, we did discover last time that the reason that bread isn't going to be consumed as much is largely because most of our people, well, not most of them, about half of our people only need one item of food, and the other half only needs two. And we're now in a situation where we have 3 items of food kind of readily available. Now, since that last episode, since yesterday's episode, I have gone ahead and made a couple of small changes. The first thing I've done is thrown in another couple of windmills. The second thing I've done is I've actually gone in and added some more warehouses. There's a warehouse right here that stores bread. And there's a warehouse over here that also stores bread. Now, these might end up being a little bit tricky because we might see someone from this market maybe go to this warehouse, or we might see someone from this market go to, that warehouse. We might see a bit of that, but having all of that bread in storage is going to be good long term, and that's something I want to keep up. I want to get a bunch of bread in storage, and honestly, if we look at our stockpile, if we look at our resources, we could very easily and very comfortably get away with having more bakeries. We have 500 wheat, 700 flour. We could absolutely get away with having more bakeries. That's why I've gone ahead and added in more windmills up here. That, and I also want to maybe take out 2 of these ones, which I think I might make a point of doing. I'm going to bulldoze that one, and I'm going to bulldoze that one. And that'll push some of the workers to the other mills anyway, which is totally fine by me. I might just want to double check that no one's getting assigned to those mills, and no one's been assigned to that one. These guys are fully staffed, which is good news. And I actually want to check here and see, is anyone unemployed near here? They're actually not. That's unfortunate. We do have a bailiff, though. I saw there is someone employed as a bailiff down here. So this building is actually complete, which is beautiful news, and the bailiff that we have is giving us happiness less impacted by 10%, which is also very good news. That's going to help to keep the happiness way up there. It's 92 at the minute. I'd like to see if we can push it higher, although that's going to be, I imagine, a little bit tricky. Either way, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm liking this. I feel like we're doing good things. I feel like it's all going well for us. And I feel like it might not be a bad idea to try and get our hands on the Hunter's Hut. Now, to do that, we are going to need more splendor for the kingdom. But I want to get the Hunter's Hut because I'd like to have plenty of that in storage as well. I'm not entirely sure how the Hunter Hut works. I don't really know all that well, but I'd like to see what we can do. I'd like to get that, basically. I'd like to see if we can maybe get all of the commoner level buildings built before we go in for citizens. And I'd like to see if we can, keep them happy. And, hunting is another means to get food. We could look at going from, a monastery is possible at some point, but that also requires citizens, and my worry there is, again, citizens need 3 types of food. Actually, I think citizens need clothes for one. That's something we should maybe look into. I'm pretty sure it's clothes that gives us the upgrade to citizens, so we're going to want to be wary there, because citizens will then want 3 types of food, which we can provide, but I'd like to make sure we can provide it that bit better. Anyway, what I think I'm going to do is I'm gonna get another bakery, possibly, because we have this one right here and it's doing a very good job, but this warehouse is pretty much, it's near full of flour. This one down here is pretty full as well. I reckon we could probably get away with another couple of bakeries near the existing ones. So I'm actually really tempted to try this, and I might try and stick these 2 together to make it look like one larger building. I think we could get away with that. It might look a little bit strange, but I think we might go for the double bakery there. Or maybe this one could be over here. A little bit further away, still relatively close to the stockpile though. And right next to a well of its own as well. So that seems like the way to go. So we'll get a bakery there. And I think we could try and get one down here. We could actually squeeze a bakery right along the bridge here. Although I think it looks a little strange having the stuff for it sort of on the water's edge there. We could go for another bakery up here. That's always an option. Sort of throw it just off the side of the farm here. And I might do that. Pretty close to the source as well. Suppose I could just stick it onto the side of this one. You know, do the double thing that I've mentioned there. I think I might do that. Although to double this one, it really needs to overlap because it's on a bit of a hill, so that's a bit of a problem. All right. Okay, what if we were to do this one just up here a little bit? Bit further away, but still relatively close to the supplies. Or just here. I guess we'd lose a bit of farm, but I think we can afford to lose a little bit of the farm. I think we'll do that. Let's go in. Let's go to farm field. Let's take out a bit of it here. So all of that bit can be removed, can be taken out. There we go. All right, so let's go to bakery. Let's just throw it on this road right about there. It has a well just down from it, so that's all okay. And I honestly think 2 more bakeries. I mean, again, we don't need them. We are perfectly fine without them, but I want to go overboard. I want to make sure we have all these resources. I want to make sure we have everything we're going to need. I also think I want to turn on immigration again, because we need more people coming in here. I think we have enough food. I mean, we have almost 500 fish as well. That's ridiculous. Good Lord, that's ridiculous. Do we have any free territories right now? We do, actually. Okay. It might be worth grabbing. I might grab this one so I can build on that island. That might not be a bad idea. Get more fishing huts out here. Turn this into like a proper... Just have fishing huts everywhere, really. I think I will. I'm going to grab that one. I actually have another free tile available, so I'll grab... Let's see. I could grab this one to extend the farms a little bit. I could grab that one, which I think I will. And this one's going to cost me 500. I think we'll wait before grabbing any more. I mean, we're going to get another free territory once the soldiers get back anyway, so that's totally fine by me. Now, let's see. How's this bakery going? It's going. That's all right. It'll certainly get there. Soldiers are on their way back as well, so that's going to be beautiful news. I'm actually noticing here, this is a little bit low in flour, actually. That's a bit concerning. Is it going to fill up anytime soon? Do we have the transporters coming down to it? I certainly hope we do. I don't want any of my bakeries slowing down. I mean, good Lord, we only have nearly 700 bread. Whatever would we do? What are you doing? You're working on a transport mandate. Where are you? So you're up there. What about Baptiste? What's he doing? Let's follow you. You're working on a transport mandate as well. Now, I noticed that this guy, Henry, is... Yeah, he is carrying stuff, so he's on his way back. So we'll see what he actually ends up bringing back here. We'll see if it does good for us in the warehouse here. It sort of didn't. Okay. Definitely seems like we might want to get more staff working in these things. I'm actually realizing that moving the windmills that we had done here has probably done, it's probably had a bit of a negative effect there. This warehouse here and this one down here might suffer a little bit because of that. But I think we'll manage. I think we can manage. Let me see here. Anyone unemployed nearby? Still going to be a no on that. We could go for some miners. It seems that some... Oh, no, that's millers. Never mind. What about down here? Oh, we have a couple of unemployed people who could work here. So we'll get that mill up and running. This farm's actually completely full as well. This one's nearly full, and this one is even closer to being full. Okay, that puts us in a pretty decent spot. I'm also noticing this little road here has been messed up by the bakery. That's fantastic. Really happy about that. That's taking out even more of my farm field. I'm actually looking at this and thinking this wheat field might need to go. I might move it up there instead. And I think, honestly, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do is move the wheat field up this way. Because the one we have in that little gap by the road is just... It's not doing so good anymore. So let's just do something like this. We'll sort of go up and around, link this all together. And we'll just sort of fill in all of that space. And we neaten up the back bit a little bit. And then what I want to do is chop out that bit. I think that'll work. I think that'll be fine. It's probably going to have about the same amount of farm field availability that this does. So let me go ahead and fire you three, delete the building, and then clear out that crop field. Because it's not in a good spot, really. It's really not in a good spot. And I guess what we can do with that is go in for reforestation a little bit, bring it down the road to about there. We can tidy this up a little bit. In fact, you know what? Just fill up that whole space. So all of that can be filled up. The road will probably be fine. This bit can sort of be brought around to nicely round that off. And then the residential zone could probably just be extended across to the road as well. So just do something like this. Gives us a little bit more residential zoning on the way up to the farms there, which I think is a good thing, honestly. So that'll be good. Let's also go ahead and say we want to be able to see not desirability zoning, because we need to get a wheat farm on there. So this wheat farm can go, I'm gonna say right about there, I think. In fact, we'll turn it that way. That way's fine. So we'll have the wheat farm right about there. We'll get that built, and that should hopefully replace the one that we got rid of. I'm actually really hoping I'm really thinking I might move the wheat farm out of here as well, because we do. You know what? We're gonna do that. We are gonna do that. We're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna get rid of you because we don't rely on it right now. I think we're gonna get rid of these as well. So, fire and fire. I probably should have made sure to fire everyone in the other one, but whatever. Fire and fire. And then fire to you and bulldoze. Then these right here, I mean, we need storage for wheat. We're going to need storage for... Actually, flour storage isn't really essential there anymore. I think storage for wheat is going to be a big deal. And, I mean, we have all of this space back here as well. We have some space back here where we could do a wheat farm, which... I might actually do. I think a wheat farm back there could be quite nice. Doesn't have a whole lot of space, but it has enough, I think, to do something pretty good there. Maybe bring this down through here just a little bit. So something like that. We'll sort of go out and over there, and I think that's a pretty good size. So let's throw another farm just on that. So let's see, wheat farm. I'm thinking right about there is probably good. So that'll give us another farm over there. I'm tempted to put a small field in here. Or to, you know what? I think we'll do. We'll clear out this bit of residential. So we'll clear out just on this side of the road and across to there. So this will give us just a little bit, a tiny little bit more. Just neaten that up there. A tiny little bit more room for a field just in front of the windmill there. And I think that should be ideal. I'm probably overthinking this. I realize I have a tendency of doing that. I'm probably way overthinking this. I just want to make sure. I want to overdo it. That's the thing. I want to overthink, I guess. I want to make sure we have ridiculous amounts of bread, ridiculous amounts of wheat, ridiculous amounts of just everything we can get our hands on. Because that way, when we do go for clothes and when we do go for citizens, we can make sure they're actually going to be happy. We can make sure they're not going to be completely miserable. And we can make sure that we're actually not going to have everything fall apart, basically. So let's clear that out. Let's clear that out. And let's get a nice little wheat farm on there as well. This one can go, I think, right about there. Actually, let's do it this way because it'll take up a little bit less room in the field. So, right about there. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So that's what, 1, 2, 3 new farms. We're going to need more windmills as well. That is going to be a must. So let's see, windmill, they are 200 each. That's fine. We could probably get away with throwing one up behind this wheat farm, but if we do that, we're probably going to have people walking through the field. So I don't know. I don't know if that's something I actually want to do. Let's see, where else could... We could put some out here. That's definitely an option. And I think I might, because we do have residential zoning out there, so we could get people, like, living out here and working at these windmills. And then up here... Well, I think we're probably okay for the time being. Maybe just throw one right there as well. It's going to be a bit of a cluster, is what it's going to be. It's going to be quite the cluster of windmills, but we'll get it all built. It's going to take a little while, but that's honestly fine by me. Well, the good news is most of the construction's actually done. We have 222 people here. We have the windmills done. I think where did I... Oh, it was this one. We have this one done as well. Do we have anyone unemployed can actually work here, though? It looks like that's going to be a no. We are actually almost sitting on 1,000 bread as well. I mean, this field over here is looking pretty good. These ones up here need to come together. I mean, there's only one person working here at the minute. There's no one working here right now. And honestly, there's probably not going to be until we find more people living up here. So... It's going to take a little bit for all of this to get fully staffed, but it feels like we're getting there. It definitely feels like we're getting there. And I'm also thinking it might not be a bad idea to start throwing some more markets in here, because what I'm thinking is we are going to need to sell clothes to people. That is a thing. So I think we might want to go in and start at least preparing to sell goods. And I'm starting to think I really should have used one color of tent for food and then another for goods and another for luxuries, but well, here we are. Let's do... I mean, I could edit this, I suppose. I could go around and edit my markets, but whatever. We've committed at this point. Let's get some luxury goods, not luxury signs, actually. We want... Wait, that is a goods stall, right? It is. We want goods stall signs. So one right there. We want one right there. We'll throw, I guess, a blue tent on there. I really, you know, I'm keeping it all. I'm going to put a blue tent on there and I guess a little fence down the side as well, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And maybe just one over here as well. We're not going to be using this market anytime soon, but we'll start construction because we can. I also want to go in here and edit this market because I am going to take out the I'm going to take out the blue. Instead, we're going to do red only for the food stalls. That way it's going to be a little bit easier to see what we're doing. So, start construction on those. And then we need to go around to all my other markets and do exactly the same thing. So, edit this one, take that out of there. And we want to do a red stall, start construction. And basically, like I said, same thing everywhere else. Alrighty, the changes have been made. All of my builders are going around doing their things, building the markets, changing the tents, and putting up some new markets as well. So over here, we've got a couple of red tents. We got another red tent over here. We should see a couple of blue tents popping up, though, because I went in and decided to place all of the goods stalls as well. So we should fairly soon see a little blue tent pop up over here. We should see another one pop up just behind the new Lord's Manor there as well. Let's see if we got any yet. We do. We have our first one over here. There it is. All right, fantastic. So that actually is going to make things so much easier. Red is food, blue is goods, then green will be luxury goods. That actually looks kind of cool as well, having all that red in there. It's a nice strong color against the green from, you know, nature and all that stuff. I really like the look of the red there. It just looks nice. It's a nice change of pace, you know, changes things up a little bit. Now let's see. Do we have workers available? We still don't. This is gonna be a pain getting people to work in all these different buildings, isn't it? I mean, there's not really anyone unemployed here either. We don't, even if we had like a builder, I would take a builder and be like, hey, you can go work here, no problem, do your thing. But we can't even do that. It is a little bit silly. It is definitely a little bit silly. And unfortunately, that is, you know, not having people in 1, 2, 3. Well, we have these guys working, I suppose. But unfortunately, I mean, not having all of our mills up and running is going to slow down production a little bit. It is going to hurt the stockpiles a little bit. So I'm hoping we can stay on top of that. I mean, this one here is nearly out of flour completely. Not that I'm necessarily worried we're going to run out of bread right away. We have over 1,000, but you get the idea. I'd like to keep the numbers going and not just have them start dwindling. Because while I don't necessarily think we are going to go all in on clothes today, I'm thinking next episode we might very well have to. We are sitting on 183 wool, almost 500 cloth. I'd actually like more cloth if I can get away with that. That would be very nice. I'm actually wondering, are we still selling wool? I'm pretty sure we are. I think. I'm blind here. There it is. So we're going to stop trading wool. And I think what we're going to do instead... Now, these warehouses here are also completely useless. I think I'm going to throw these out. So I'm going to fire the transporters. I'm going to ditch these warehouses. I know that loses the resources, but we're going to ditch them anyway. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'd like to get another weaver's hut. And I'm thinking we could do another weaver's hut sort of up here a little bit. Just a little bit away from the sheep farms. Not super far away. Nothing like that. What's the... So that's... Okay, that's the front of the building. So a weaver's hut, something like there, could be a nice little spot for it. And then this area has been cleared up a little bit. I don't think... It's not a farm anymore, so... What we can do is go in there with a couple of warehouses and start storing cloth here, because I think we're storing cloth down here, aren't we? Well, I suppose maybe we keep doing that, actually. Maybe we do keep storing cloth down there. I'm not sure, because I don't know where my tailors are going to be. That's kind of the thing here. And I think having cloth near the tailors is going to be more important. So if we started here with a tailor, we could have... You know, this place nicely stocked. A tailor down here could work off of one of those warehouses and stock that one. Maybe a tailor over there with their own warehouse. It's going to be... I think cloth is the next thing we're going to need to get a whole bunch of, which isn't going to be a struggle. I mean, we have a lot of it. I just kind of want more. I do kind of want more. I wonder if maybe I should just double up these warehouses again. Just something like this. Just go for another bunch of storage for it. But then all my tailors would have to walk over here to get it, and that's my concern. That's my worry. Although I guess regardless they're going to have to do that unless they get rid of these warehouses. Huh. Okay, that might be tricky. I think what I'm going to do, though, is... I mean, do we even store wool at the minute? That's kind of another question. So we have 174 in storage. I don't think we actually store wool itself, though. So maybe a warehouse here for wool would be an idea. I think we'll do that. I think we'll go for a warehouse for wool. So we'll do one right there. And I'll flip it around. We'll do a second one. Just right about... Let's see, right about there? Does that line up? Not really. That kind of lines up a bit better. So right about there for a second warehouse for wool. And I think what I'll do is go here and go... excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we'll get a bunch more sheep. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should give us 40 sheep in total. Which should be a whole bunch more wool. Which will be beautiful for the weavers' huts. And then the weavers' huts combined with the warehouses can store all of the cloth as well. And then I guess next time we need to figure out what we're doing with the tailors. Now getting a tailor up here is going to be easy. I mean, we could very easily get a tailor's workshop right here, for example. And it would nicely service this market and that market. We could probably do 2 tailor's workshops in that area. One down here will service that market really nicely. One over here would probably need its own storage of cloth, and then this one over here would also need its own storage of cloth. So that's kind of the tricky part. That's why things are a little bit complicated, and that's why I need to figure out the right way to do all of this, just to make sure that we don't end up in a situation where something does go wrong. Because I think, I mean, we have enough food, and the reason, I mean, it's probably obvious, but the reason I'm going for so much food is because if something does go wrong, then the effects of it will be much further away. So if we start seeing the amount of bread or berries or fish or cloth or clothes or whatever seriously drop, we can at least sort of sort that out before it goes terribly wrong. Which actually, we can see the amount of flour seriously dropping at the minute. The only thing is, we know why that's happening. We know that's happening because there's not enough people that are working in the mills, which is why we need to bring more people in and hope for the best there. So, I guess my goal at this point is to figure out how to get people working up here, because most people are just unemployed, or most people are, sorry, employed up here. We need to get people working in these mills, and we need to get them working there as soon as possible so that we can get as much flour into storage to keep the bread up, because the bread will actually start dropping pretty soon based on the amount of flour we have in storage. We have the wheat for it, we just don't have much else. I'm also thinking we might actually want some wheat storage up here. I know we have the farms right next to the mills, but a central location for it would mean that wheat from this farm can be gathered and brought over, meaning the millers won't be walking to this farm, which is possibly something they're doing as well. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to leave it there for today. We are very much preparing for food. We are very much preparing for citizens. I am very much nervous about all of that, I'm going to be completely honest, but you know, what can you do? It's I mean, let's see here. We could help the clergy, we could help the people. I think we'll help the people, I guess. There you go. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, but thus far, everything's under control. You know, we have plenty of money. We have more territory. We actually have more free territories we can grab as well. So we're doing okay. I mean, the population is still growing. People are still, you know, 90 plus on happiness. A couple of people complaining about not having housing, but that can work. We can figure that out. We just need to get people living out there and in the forest a little bit as well. But this is good. This seems like it seems like progress is being made, and that's making me very happy. Let me just go ahead and say I want reforestation sort of just around here a little bit. I just want to sort of dot along the farms there, and then fill up all of that space behind. So all of that can be reforested at some point. It probably never will, but that's all right. Then all of that is also going to be, all of that's an extraction zone. So every bit of that is an extraction zone. I guess that's technically an extraction zone at this point as well. Did we miss anywhere? We missed over here. Might as well make that one. Up here is fine. Up here can be an extraction zone. Up there can also be reforestation. And I guess we could continue to expand the farms back a little bit if we really wanted to. We just really need people living out there. That's kind of the big deal. I suppose a couple of wells might improve general happiness around there. So let's throw a well right there. Let me put a well just over here. And yeah, I guess we hope for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do us. That is going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.